Hi, everybody. My name's Jakob Michaels. I'm a mentalist and a hypnotist here in local Columbus area. And basically what I do is I actually help people via being a life coach and being an entertainer to actually make change in their lives, hopefully lasting change. To start off, I really want to kind of show you guys something that I do. I'd like you all, if you'd like to stand up, to please participate in this. You'd love it. Just stand up. That's great. And what I want you all to do is we're going to play an inventive imagination game. All of you, I want you to do is kind of just put your hands out in front of you like this, about that distance apart. Really focus on that gap. That's good. And give us one of these. All right, that's good. Give us one more. All right, that was just for effect that time. What I want you to do is just kind of focus on that gap. Imagine there are two really powerful magnets on those palms. On the count of three, just allow your eyes to close. Nothing's going to happen to you. Just allow your eyes to close. And 1, 2, 3. Imagine there are magnets on those palms. You can feel them pulling together. You can feel your fingers twitching, your arms moving. You can feel those hands actually being pulled together. And when they touch, I just want you to just kind of open your eyes and notice where they are in front of you. Notice how they touched against your actual conscious awareness, how they happen all on its own. When you feel that happen. That's strange, isn't it? If you haven't got it just yet, you can open your eyes and see how close you got. And if you got results from that, raise your hand up high. Isn't that amazing? How just by engaging your imagination to think, feel, and imagine what I'm saying, that you can have physical results like that. And that's, of course, a small demonstration of how it works. But what I'm here to talk to you about today, you all sit down. Thank you all very much. Spontaneous applause will happen as you sit down for yourselves. What I'm here to talk about today, in a way, is how we view things. It's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing to think about. We have a general reality that we all see, we all feel. We all see this marker here. Well, unless you're blind. We all see this marker here. We can feel it there. And if you ask all of us via similar reference points, we'd say it's there. But individually, we think, you know, that marker is, I like that marker, I don't like that marker. It makes me feel this, makes me imagine this, it makes me think about this. And what that boils down to is just beliefs. But if you look at it even broader at what a belief is that makes our individual's reality, our beliefs, or if you think about it, and as you are thinking about it, you probably got what this is going to go to, are simply our thoughts put to reference points. So this is a really interesting thing to think about. If that's really just what our individual reality is and how we think, feel, and imagine things, if we could talk to somebody, we can get them to think certain things. That's what I do as a hypnotist and mentalist, to get you to think certain things. So if you create a thought, what's going to happen is our brain is a natural pattern matching device. Imagine a time where you bought your new car, and you've just bought this car, and you haven't seen it anywhere. Maybe you've got a new gadget or something. And suddenly, after you get this thing, you play with it, you start to notice everybody has it. Absolutely everyone has this device. You're seeing it all over the place. What it is your thoughts are geared towards this thing, and your brain makes patterns to find it out in space. If I asked you all to focus on the color green and look around, you're going to notice a lot more green things. And it's really that simple. What that means is, if we were to get someone to think, say, that they were absolutely extraordinary, amazing people, and their brain basically put the reference points to that, they're eventually going to transform that into a belief. And that's a great thing. I mean, subtly, you could influence whoever you like just by generating thoughts in their heads. Now, what gets really kind of impactful at the same time, though, is there's a negative side to this. There's a reverse side of the coin. And I'm sure you've all probably experienced this before, where basically somebody's told you, you're never going to do this, you're being unreasonable. And what's interesting is you start to think about that. I know I did. I really started to think about that when I said, I want to be a mentalist and hypnotist. And when I thought about it, I began to notice reference points. I began to get sort of, what's your alternative, Are you going for psychology? Are you going to college? Oh, you're not going to college? Oh. That kind of thing. And I began to believe that maybe what I'm doing is not going to actually pan out. And when you believe something like that, you struggle. You really start to struggle when you start to believe something negative like that. And it ultimately forms the limiting beliefs that we all have kind of holding us back from certain things. So, basically, if we told somebody maybe they're a loser, their mind finds reference points. Maybe you don't provide the reference points, but maybe somehow throughout their day they see this and they get this reference points essentially via other people, other things, or other experiences. It becomes a belief for them. And be honest, how many of us out there have actually had the opportunity where we've actually said that to somebody and they've been, well, you're right. Say I if you've had that happen. Now, it's awesome because while we know this, you can turn this innate feeling, this now that we know this, we can use this to create positive beliefs, and we can question our own beliefs. Honestly, if you ask me right now, if you asked me a few months ago even, do you think that you're going to be a major speaker doing hypnosis and mentalism? Well, I'd probably say, oh, yeah, but really I didn't really have very many reference points, so I wasn't taking the action to make it happen. But if you ask me that now, with the fullest ability I have, I can say yes, because I'm actually doing it. This belief is formed because my reference points have provided it. So my big question is this. If all of you out there right now were to walk away from this right now, and you were to really evaluate this, or maybe you just throw it to the side, what would you use your words to do differently? What ideas are you going to try and get someone to think about so they can find it in their reference points? And what lasting changes can you generate in other people, like I try to do in my career? And what are you going to be someone else's personal hypnotist in a way? Thank you.